Today is Monday, August 26th, and we are in week 5 of Sports Idiot Nation, which obviously means we're at week 0, whatever that means, of college football. And we'll tell you why America is always better than China. Gotta have my China.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
Someone took Austin P way too far.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Welcome, sinners. This is Sports Idiot Nation.
All right, sinners, and foreshadowing, definitely one sinner that we definitely have to talk about later, so stay tuned. I am Adam Reno, as always, joined by Miles Behind Enemy Lines and Mr. T.I. of Titans Idiot Nation, Mr. 30K followers. Be sure to follow us on all of the social medias that exist: Facebook, Instagram, the Twitters, if you're calling it Twitter these days, TikTok, and the favorite way to watch us is, of course, on YouTube. So we got a lot to get into. This week 0 thing, I really want to ask you guys. So week 0 means that not all teams play, and if the NFL did this, here's what college football did that just makes no sense. So you had a team hosting in a foreign country, which is pretty cool. The NFL, as we know, is doing the same thing. So what this would be like is if, because baseball even did this too. They started in another country, then came back, and the regular season started, right? So if the NFL did this, it would be like the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are what Florida State is, like that team that was like kind of good, but like, do you really think they're going to win the national championship? Do you really think they have a chance to play for the Super Bowl? Not really. And then they played, wait for it, not Notre Dame in Ireland, because that would make way too much sense. No, they played Georgia Tech, which would be the equivalent, since we're saying Georgia, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if the NFL released on September 1st, let's say, but the week before, they're going to have in Germany, the Atlanta Falcons take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That makes just as much a sense as anything. Instead, the NFL is smart, and they have Kansas City versus Baltimore on the Thursday when the season starts, which is genius. But am I wrong and it's just like, hey, college football's back and we're ready? Or was that one of the most asinine things that you've seen ever, even besides the fact that, oh yeah, tell me if you've heard this before, overrated? So am I crazy, T.I.? What, like, were you excited to even watch this game?
Da, 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 da.
Da-da-da. How's that spelled? Can you spell that out?
It's
As our
like
captions, our caption guys,
D-A-D-A-D-A-D-A-D-A-D-A-U-U-U-U. Nailed it. No, it's first of all, it's weird. I mean, the NFL does do this. It's called preseason, but it is very weird. I don't understand it. I will say the reason why Notre Dame was not there playing is because Florida State was ranked, and they don't want to set Notre Dame up for failure in week 0, which of all weeks, week 0, because Notre Dame obviously is the quintessential poster child for so many people. It's like Notre Dame is this, Notre Dame is that, and like I joke every time, like Notre Dame's the only team that can have 3 or 4 losses and still be in the top 10. But so that's why I think Notre Dame was not there. But like, did this thing make sense? Like, what was the point? I think it makes sense maybe if you pick 2 different teams. I mean, I'm not knocking the alma maters, I'm not knocking the faithfuls, but Florida State and Georgia Tech, I mean, who? Yeah, we all tuned in because it's college football and we're anxious for it.
Right.
But I mean, come on, man. Like, they could have picked better teams. They could have picked a more. I mean, and why does it have to be the same conference, right? I mean, why couldn't we just pick two powerhouses from, why couldn't we pick like SEC, let's take Georgia or Alabama or anybody and have them just play somebody in the, I don't know. Well, hell, can't be Texas anymore because Texas is SEC. I guess that's it. You're running out of competition, right? So the only way you can have real competition is to play in-house. So I don't know. I don't hate it by any means because I love football, but, it's always nice to see Florida State lose. I hate Florida State. I still, the fact that they beat Gus Malzahn and Auburn in the national championship on some dumb stuff just still makes me so mad. So mad. So mad. Like, I don't know, completely getting off track, but you know why they lost the championship? Because a guy was trying to tackle on a kick return and tore his ACL. I was about to tackle him, and you see him grab his leg and fall down. Florida State ran it back for a touchdown, and that was the whole difference in the game. And it still makes me so mad. Anyway.
Broke it like a crab leg.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston stealing his crab legs from Publix or whatever, he claims he forgot to pay for them, but come on, man, I don't forget to pay for my groceries when I go to Publix.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's college football. College football's back. I think like you have such this cool agenda where you're going to they're in Dublin, right? You're going to Ireland and that's what you give us, like Georgia Tech and Florida State. I don't know, could have been so much better, but I'll take it. It's football, baby, and Florida State lost. So, hey, it's not so bad, right?
Right. Miles, did you see the field goal?
No, I did at the end. But before we get into that, I got maybe three formal complaints with you two. So first thing with you, Adam, you said the Jaguars-Falcons game would be in Germany. We all know that game would be in London because they are the London Jaguars. They are the London Jaguars. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Believe me.
Believe me.
Then with T.I., you almost got it right at the end. You almost corrected yourself talking about how, you should have had two Titans playing against each other, the Clash of the Titans, big non-conference. When you have 35 teams in the ACC now, it's kind of hard to avoid it.
I know. It's kind of what I was getting at.
As a caveat to that, you talking about, you could have had Alabama playing non-conference. You try to say Texas like they did last year. That was an SEC game pretty much already. Yeah. Furthermore, we all know Alabama only plays FCS non-conference teams now. So
that's true.
Just throw that out there.
That's true.
You had to play. I mean, what else do you want? Cal versus SMU as your ACC matchup there? Because those are now ACC teams. So it's kind of hard to avoid it. Notre Dame, when they're playing week 0 at the Aer Lingus in Ireland, they're only going to play Navy. So I'd rather have a Georgia Tech Florida State game where Florida State was preseason top 10. We all know they weren't around top 10 team. Top 25, iffy at best. But I like seeing Georgia Tech win, man. 2 more weeks they'll be out. Well, I'll tell you this right now, Georgia Tech, just because they beat a team on paper that was number 10 at least, Georgia Tech's about to be ranked for the first time since 2014. It blows my mind that a team from Atlanta, a team, I get that they have, more strict academic standards because it's Georgia Tech, but look, there's a number of schools that have that, especially Notre Dame, obviously, and even Northwestern, who every other year is a decent team and pops in and out of the top 25. The fact that Georgia Tech cannot recruit well enough to be ranked in a decade, that's insane to me. So I was glad to see him win. I thought that kick was awesome, about a 44-yarder. The kid, obviously under pressure, you had all the or the da-da-da-da-da, whatever you want to be. Whether it's
D-A-D-A-T-A-D-A. D-A-H-U-U-A-H. Gotta get it right, Adam.
Shake your tail feather, Florida State, or Bad Boys 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it might be. The fact he nailed that kick.
Is there 6 of them?
Shut up.
I think they just shot
whether or not
shot in Atlanta.
Hey, that kid might be the star now after nailing that kick. He's gonna head home and do just fine like Mike Lowry with the ladies. So
yeah, he'll do just fine with the Florida ladies.
That's the hero for now. And then Georgia Tech will eventually see a real schedule. They play a real non-conference team because they have Georgia at the end of every year. So Georgia Tech will come back down to earth, but they might pull off 7-8 wins this year. So that's cool. I'm fine with it. It's still a top 10 team for whatever that's worth, that goes down in week 0. That's better than having to be stuck watching MEAC teams play all day long.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love a good upset, right? And then for it to be in a non-existent week, even better.
Yeah, no kidding.
Week 0.
It's imaginary like the leprechauns.
I just don't understand I mean, you could have had Georgia Clemson. Okay, for week 0, I'm in. I am excited. But
they aren't going to do that. They're going to put that as the main game on a big slate like they are next week when you have also Notre Dame, Texas A&M playing, and Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
So they're going to have that.
Michigan, Fresno
lineup.
State. Oh, wait. Maybe not that one.
Well, if Jim Harbaugh was going to be the honorary captain, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Until he watched our episode and was like, "Yeah, it's not a good idea. These guys pretty much laid it out for me."
Who is surprised at that? Nobody. Also, USC, LSU. I mean, I just think there's games that, man, you could have. I'll take. Well, I don't know.
Well,
maybe not.
The LSU game, USC. That's Sunday night. That's the Sunday night. That's the Labor Day game.
Yeah.
So that's not even Saturday. But
I'm just saying, it's still week 1 is my point.
Yeah, and that's better. That's better for the fans overall because you want them all in week 1. To divvy that up into a week 0. No, Florida State, Georgia Tech, that was just the appetizer. That's all that's going to be. We want a main course of your Florida, Miami, Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and then LSU, USC for dessert.
Yeah. It's a tasty dessert. I'd gobble that up.
Very, very, very nice. Here's speaking of teaser, here is a nice little teaser for you. Remember to hit the notification bell when you are watching on YouTube, because when we have shows also on Thursdays, upcoming, not this Thursday, but the next Thursday is going to be a very exciting episode because we're going to break down the start of the NFL is happening, and we will break down all the divisions, may have some special guests. So be sure, it's not this Thursday is also going to be a great episode. Do not get me wrong. However, we're talking teasers. So I'm giving you a teaser. So calm down. I know it's not this week. It's next, but it's a good teaser. All right. If I do say so myself. So, again, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, Sports Idiot Nation. So let's keep going on.
It's a good teaser or a good episode? Because I'm a little confused. It was a mediocre teaser, but it's a good episode.
No. It was not mid. Nothing. It was stellar. Okay. So let's continue talking football and go through the preseason, like, just because it's a little bit of a chore, but like we gotta get through it so that we can be excited for the real football. I know you guys watched a little bit. Did anyone do anything that you were like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad that happened? Or are you just simply ready for the preseason? Let's freaking go. And I'm not worried about preseason anymore. Miles, where are you at on that?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say the fact that the Titans first team O went out there again and performed. The fact that they did it so nice, they did it twice, makes you happy, makes me full of cheer, like tiny bubbles in my beer. So they went 3-0. Again, gives hope. I get it doesn't count. But as we talked about in prior episodes, when you don't have meaningful football for like 10 months, it's fun to see. Might be overhyped, but whatever. I want to feel this joy now. They're going to crush my soul, crush my spirits later, but I'll enjoy it. And then obviously your Niners had a little fun at the end of their last preseason game.
So I was, as a true fan, I was watching, and first of all, I don't want guys like Trent Taylor in there at the end. We brought him back to the team. Not many people know of him, but he is a sure-handed punt returner, and everyone's eyebrows should go up when they hear that, whatever fan of the team that they are, because every fan knows that a sure-handed punt returner is very necessary, because there's always that little chance when your team stops the other team on fourth down and you're getting the ball back that you think, I hope he doesn't muff this kick, right? So
I think that happened to you and cost you a trip to the Super Bowl a number of years
anyway, we're
ago.
trying to be in a good mood, but I'm just saying all teams go through this. Like when I say sure-handed punt returner, everyone should be like, oh, well, all right. I see where he's coming from. Oh, yeah. So I don't want to see that guy in the fourth quarter with 4 seconds left, kicking the ball around, booting the ball. Then you have your backup quarterback with an illegal throw. They're lateraling it. First of all, I don't like Antonio Pierce going for a field goal down 3 in preseason. Can you just go for the win? Like, what are you doing? It's a little bit of a rivalry. The Raiders, Niners, it would be like if Tennessee, their last game was not against any form of rival. It was the Saints, who actually just played the Niners in preseason. But I get, like, if it was the Texans, or which you're not, because that's your division, but like whatever it is, if you're going to play a team that's kind of your rival from either back in the day or what have you, and then the opposing coach goes for a field goal to go for the tie in preseason, it's just like, this is why you see teams go for 2. This is why you see teams go for it on fourth down when they normally wouldn't, because they don't want the score to be tied. Like, we literally saw this in the 49ers-Titans preseason game. You literally saw that. A team went for 2 because they don't want that. So first of all, that's annoying. Then it's tied with 4 seconds left. You throw a Hail Mary. It's caught. 7 guys converge on him. He throws it behind his back. It goes to a lineman. He boots it. You got 8 seconds of sheer 37 injuries potentially on that play. Oh, this guy's calf muscle. Oh, this guy hit his head. This guy got a legal block in the back. Then you have the quarterback.
A lot easier on the coaches, though. It could make it a lot easier on the coaches, though.
Half of them are donezo anyway, right? Then you got the quarterback somehow with the ball. He throws it 3 yards forward after getting the ball 8 seconds later. I'm not saying Frank Wycheck did that. We've had that argument, but this was very obvious. It was forward.
Don't even go there.
Then it goes into a lineman's hand. He rumbles, bumbles, stumbles to the 2-yard line, stretches like as if to like, oh, I got a touchdown, even though there was 9 illegal plays. You see, the next clip is John Lynch, the GM of the 49ers, going over to Antonio Pierce. Yes, that Antonio Pierce, linebacker from the New York Giants, who is now the coach of the Raiders. You have them going, dapping it up, shaking hands, laughing their ass off. Like, it's just like, let's start the regular season, baby. Let's get rid of these 19 players that just got injured. It was hilarious. Oh, it went viral. I mean, it was just nuts. And I'm watching it live like, my eyes. It's just bad.
It's just preseason football, man.
I think there's 2 things that we need to talk about here. Number one, on a play like that, I think after a forward pass is completed, and then afterwards, if you have 5 successful laterals, you should allow a legal forward lateral again.
Where they just reset.
Yeah. I was going to say,
like, all right, on 2, on 2.
I was going to say,
in the middle of the
flying
play.
V.
Like, let's introduce rock jock rules, and let's just start throwing some like 14-point, buttons on the field. Like, hey, you throw a touchdown from here, it's worth 14 points, right? Let's go ahead and change it up, right?
Do we even know who that quarterback's name is, Adam? Who's that quarterback? Yeah, Mordecai, like just one name.
Mordecai.
I think his name was Frank Drebin. Frank Drebin, I think is his name.
It was Uncle Rico.
So we need to add the Uncle Rico rule for 2025. After a completed pass, then 5 successful laterals, you can do another forward lateral again.
Not Not to be confused with the Rooney Rule. This is the Rico Rule. Okay, this is the Rico Rule.
So it is.
laws.
It's Tanner Mordecai. Went to Wisconsin. He's 6'2". He's 24 from Waco, Texas. Ask
That's
me
his
another
real
one.
name. His real name, last name is Mordecai.
Would you think I was making that up?
I thought you just pulled some shit. You're like Mordecai. I don't know.
No, it's
Mordecai
Tanner.
sounds like an X-Men villain. I mean,
Tanner Mordecai.
Mordecai. I am Mordecai.
But another point I need to make about this is, okay, 2 Bay Area teams. Yeah, the Raiders may have left, but they're always Oakland to us.
Right.
Reminds me of another Bay Area rivalry. I think the paramount of the ACC now, Stanford Cal. Yeah, the band is out on the field. We got backup football players out on the field. Just cut them all. I'd rather take the Stanford band and put them on the practice squad than those
That
Jamotes.
Trombone player got lit.
What about that Stanford tree? Like, what if you like just really you're really just not having it, man? You look over and that tree is just looking at you, laughing. You know, and like
the Stanford tree.
It's
looks like
it's getting a punch in one of those branches.
It looks like it was made for a Saturday Night Live skit. Like it's just out there. Like all the mascots are out here.
Land shark.
Yeah. Oh, Justin Timberlake comes out. Come on down. Like
Candygram, man.
Though it's like 3 a.m. and it's dark in your room, and like you hear this like shaking, and then you like wake up, and that thing's like hovering over you, and you're oh my god, I need to remember to recycle.
Whoever is in it is getting choked. Whoever's in that thing is getting choked.
I would be Tanner Mordecai if I woke up like that. I would be just completely.
That was good.
Full circle, brother.
That was good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Stanford.
3 R's.
Sports Idiot Nation.
3 R's.
Like and subscribe.
Michael Scott.
Us.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Or you don't recycle.
Oh, what? Okay. We had like some notes that maybe we would go over stuff, but well, that's our show. Like what do like okay, segue into like you have
it's like that meme. It's like that meme, it's like bucket, you know? Day's over, bucket. You know, all the papers in the air.
Yeah. Or Tommy Boy, where he's like David Spade is like, you have derailed. Shut up, Richard. Shut up, Miles.
Derailed just like that final play of the preseason for the 49ers.
Oh, so we are grateful for preseason to be done again. We are excited for NFL foosball. Some news and notes to take note of. I can be doing probably, hopefully, allegedly, some live reporting for week 1 Monday Night Foosball because foosball is not from the devil, mama. And I will be with my mama and dada at Monday Night Football, September 9th in the Bay Area. So lots to go over when I'm there. But stay tuned to Sports Idiot Nation, of course, every Monday and Thursday. So, all right, moving on. I was thinking about birthdays and my mom. So famous birthdays. I have the same birthday of Christian Bale. My mom has the same birthday as Paul McCartney. I mean, Batman and Paul McCartney, sorry, you guys are canceled. There's no one cooler.
My birthday's on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, and good job. Mexico, that's not even their Independence Day. All of America is stupid.
Nobody is.
They're like,
nobody is celebrating. Nobody thinks that. They're just eating tacos and drinking margaritas, dude.
Nobody's but they think that's the reason.
I am taking this day to observe Mexican independence. Nobody thinks that. Even though, yeah, you're right. It wasn't their thing.
So-
Just
and-
ward off the French, of course. Everyone knows this.
And in August, of course, we do celebrate a Miles Behind Enemy Lines.
That's right. Miles
birthday.
just turned 21, you guys. Miles just turned 21 years of age.
A very, very key event happened on August 17th, 20-some years ago. Actually, I think it's 20 years ago this past year that we discussed in a prior episode when a 1TO was out on his driveway doing sit-ups. Trying to get a ballot. That happened
His
on
publicist
August 17th.
in his ear.
Not to be
Allegedly.
confused with
Never
T.I.
forget.
doing sit-ups, because T.I. does not do sit-ups.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are you going with this? That's not a thing.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down. So always remember that.
That's
So
right.
about 20 years ago, Sister Jean was old as hell. And now, 20 years later,
Old as hell.
Thank you, sir. So,
All right.
August 21st, shout out, happy birthday to Sister Jean.
That's right. Legend. I want to see her dunk
That's-
on somebody.
Yeah. Or someone
Now,
jump
don't-
over her to dunk and then kind of like trip, like, oh, no, Sister
No,
Jean.
nobody wants to see that. I
mean, tell me if that happened, that clip would not go viral and we would share it.
I just said I want to see her dunk on somebody, and you're like, I'd like to see something bad happen to her, is what you said.
No, I would just like to have another tweet that has 1.4 million views as
Sure.
we do. Follow us on Twitter or X because we pinned that tweet and you can maybe get it to 1.5 million views. We would be forever grateful. To go from 1.4 to 1.5 is a big deal.
Adam would share some of his casino winnings with you if that happens.
Now,
So-
T.I., you did make mention of legend. Oh, put that away, cartel man.
Yeah, man. God.
Black
Chill out.
Jack.
Chill out,
Pretty
Chapo.
legendary.
Chill out,
21.
Chapo. El Chapo
Now,
over here.
to your point about
El
legend,
Chapo my
thinking
ass.
of the Sandlot, heroes get remembered, but Sister Jean never dies.
That's right.
Sister Christian.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Goonie.
He's just thinking about his money over
There
there.
are two groups of people in the world that do not die: Sister Jean and Goonies. So
Goonies.
She's her own group of
and
people.
actually, Bebe's kids. Bebe's kids.
Oh,
they
them
don't.
Bebe's
they,
kids.
they don't die. They
Hey, them-
multiply.
they-
That's taking it back. But if
So-
nobody has ever seen Bebe's kids, it's very important that you probably go to YouTube right now and Google Bebe's kids, because it is not the Disney movie that you probably think it might be.
No, that's for sure. Them babies kids. So speaking of kids, this time of year is also always good when the neighborhood quiets down because all the kids are back to school, and I'm like, finally. And then
Spoken from a true non-parent.
yeah, no kid, yeah. Like, get these kids back to school. Can somebody take these kids? Somebody. Yeah, the schools, they'll do it. So, but what's cool is some kids every year get to take off school and participate in the Little League World Series. You can always tell when it's that time of year. You got the preseason ending, you got real football coming, you got Little League World Series. It's just always fun to watch and exert dominance. Miles, how much do you watch? Like, I want to watch a Danny Almonte situation. I always watch because I want to see if there's a kid that has like chest hair, and then like, oh, he was 16, he drove there, but they didn't know till
with
the year
his
later.
wife and kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the best storylines. They really are.
He took his break from work and came to play the Little League World Series. You know, he was like, "I'm on my lunch break."
He had a hard
a little
hat.
better with the checks
We
now.
finish this.
Yeah, they do
But
a little better.
they let Cuba into the World Series now, so I really think they could pull some shady stuff if they really wanted to.
Well, guess what?
The
They
fact that
lost.
they-
What's that mean?
Of
I am
course they did.
12
Of course
years
they did.
old. Or
Yeah,
I am 12.
I'm Dan. Here's $20, and then they start playing Gasolina.
I'm 12.
yeah. Yeah. Here's $20. Yep, it checks out. But I like that they're starting to expand it. Like when you talk about the NCAA basketball tournament and they start diluting it down with all these teams, I want to see that. Just stick to traditional 64, 68's fine. But if you expand to 96, 128, that's ridiculous. For the Little League, expand it to like 396 teams. I don't care. It's epic. Seeing these little kids play with their little storylines and seeing the sportsmanship and the camaraderie of it. Oh, it's fantastic.
Was it
the
last
world
year?
needs more Little League.
Yeah, I agree. Was it last year that they started putting like their future occupations? And it was like one dude's like dream job. He was like chicken nugget taster.
Yes, absolutely.
like-
True story.
I was like, sorry, kid, get in line. You know,
Yeah, I was here first.
you know,
The
I was here. I've
barbecue
been trying to be a damn chicken nugget taster all my life.
That's funny you bring that up because last night I made my wife 10 dino chicken nuggets for dinner.
Oh.
I really did. She did.
They don't have
enough.
dino nuggets in Brazil, do they?
They don't. It's a special commodity here.
Brazil.
They have healthy food.
Yeah, no. Because that
Yeah,
is
Western
not chicken, by
country.
the way.
There's no dino nuggets.
That was more dino than it was chicken, just so you know. It was like fossil fuels in there. So that was not
Carbon-
good.
The
You are-
nuggets were not
He was
carbon.
trying to brag like he's a good husband. That is bad husband material.
No, he's just
That's what
trying
she
to.
asked
He's just
for.
trying to welcome, give her a little American
I
culture.
listened.
You know,
I listened to her. She asked for it, so I said, "All right." 200 or 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, she's satisfied. Oh
She's
wait,
like-
that came out wrong.
my. Well, I don't know. That was pretty good. Or is she like after she's enjoyed the exquisite food of dino nuggets? Did you like be like, well, look, it only goes up from here, and did you cook her up some pizza rolls? I mean, let's be real.
From Geno's.
Well, we did
Pizza
have pizza
rolls.
the night before that.
Ah,
Coxinha,
okay.
feijoada, picanha, whatever.
tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Nuggets.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Tomato, taco, whatever.
But
So-
I did like seeing the fact that America, for the 7th straight year, win in the Little League World Series. China South.
America.
The real
America!
China, because mainland China's fake China.
China.
Getting that win, coming from behind, down 1-0 in the last inning, and then tying it up with 2 outs in the final inning, sent to extras, and then, oh my God, the way it ended on a bunt, on a sacrifice, supposed to be a sacrifice bunt.
Beautiful bunt.
And then Chinese Taipei, they're supposed to be all fundamental, kind of like the Japanese teams usually are, just launches into right field, and the winning run just trots around and slides into home unnecessarily when the ball's not even close. And like, kids looking around. Oh, yeah, we're world champs. Okay, cool. All right, we're done. Back to school.
Yeah, right.
Back to
Back
math.
to school.
Back
to
to the
prove-
lunchroom.
To their dad that they are not a fool. So
Correct.
yes,
They're not a
that's
fool.
right.
They're world champs.
They're
streaks. We're
look,
going
look-
streaking.
look here. It's very important though. We cannot shy away from how this game was won because bunts,
On a bunt.
bunts are plays too.
I like
Okay.
bunt cake.
All bunts
I
matter.
like big bunts, and I cannot lie.
Oh, I like soft bunts.
I like
will
all
lie.
bunts. I'm equal opportunity bunts. But I will share a story with you guys if I can. I will share a story about the importance of a bunt. Okay, I played the game of baseball as well. I was moderately okay at it, not very good. But I played when I was young, and then I moved to a different area when I was like, in 6th grade, and all these kids played baseball, all the kids in my neighborhood, and they were like, why don't you play baseball? I said, well, I haven't played since I was, 6 or 7. So I played, and I was pretty good. Hit a couple home runs. I was fast. It was great, right? Played up until I was about age 13, and then I went to the doctor, and they were like, hey, you're nearsighted in one eye and farsighted in the other, and I got glasses. And then I got to where I couldn't hit the ball. I couldn't catch the ball. I was literally the worst player on the team. But you know
I don't
what
think that was because your vision.
But I was the best player. I was the best person on it. I was the best bunter on the entire team. And it was known that I was the best bunter. But I was also very fast. So it got to the point to where I had a nickname as Buntman. And every time I got up to bat, even the opposing team would all come up because they knew I was going to bunt. And my whole dugout would be going, Buntman. And it was apparent. And I would bunt it every time I would get on base, and it became my secret weapon. And that's what I did until I was like 15. I realized I didn't want to play baseball anymore, and I just focused on soccer. But I was the best bunter on the team. I won some games from some bunts, and I was very damn proud to see America win a Little League World Series on a bunt. All right, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys didn't gloss over the fact that it was won on a bunt.
But you were the inspiration for that
I was.
moment.
I am the inspiration for a lot of moments. People just don't realize it at the moment, but I'm typically the inspiration for those moments at the particular moment that
Gotta
You're
have
famous in your mother's
hasn't
heart.
been recognized. Yeah, my mom, man, she loves me. She always told me I had a face for radio.
And here
Fair.
you are.
Do not
Yeah.
disagree at all.
But let's be real though. I mean, the time has come. We need to talk about the idiot of the week. And look, I know that China lost the Little League World Series, but it's kind of rude to call a bunch of kids idiots. They don't really know they're idiots yet. So Miles, why don't
do.
you tell me who the real idiot of the week is?
All right, kids. Hide your moms, hide your dads, and hide your motel room keys. this-
Where is this going?
Is Idiot of the Week. All right. Our Idiot of the Week comes from right here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Former Michigan offensive lineman and now formerly co-offensive coordinator and offensive line coach for Austin P. State University, Patrick Kugler, was arrested last week for human trafficking charges. He attempted to solicit, let's say, extracurriculars from a minor in a motel room in Clarksville. Thankfully, it was not a minor there. It was an undercover police officer that he handed over $100 to for said extracurriculars and was arrested on the spot. Needless to say, soon after, he resigned as assistant coach of Austin P football and proud FCS school that is a top 25 team in the second highest level of college football. Disgraceful, disgusting, and a massive, well, let's say pee stain for the governors here in my town of Clarksville.
Well, hello, Governor.
Let's go pee. Maybe not
That's-
this time though.
Man,
No.
that is
I used to work with a guy who's graduate from Austin P, and he was like, "Man, that's our thing. Let's go pee."
It is. It is. We say it nonstop, and we're prideful here in this town of that university. And honestly, in past years, the Austin P football program was nothing. I mean, to most of America, because it's not FBS, it's still nothing. But they are very competitive. They made the playoff last year. The year before that, they were co-champions of their conference. So the program was on this trajectory. Not to mention they're in work with the WAC. They're currently in the Atlantic Sun Conference in works with the WAC conference to become an FBS program. So it's like, all things up for this team. Excited to go to a game or two this season. And then boom, that bombshell drops. It was wall-to-wall coverage on the Nashville news because we're in that metro area. And here's human trafficking charges for an offensive coordinator for a Division I football program.
Terrible.
It's just like that can't be real. But unfortunately,
offensive coordinator.
it is. But fortunately, was arrested and now taken off the streets. Who knows if he's doing that now? How many years? I believe 29 years old. How many years he was doing these perverted acts, and how many victims he has? Hopefully none.
Dude.
Hopefully, but he's not going to be doing any of those anytime soon.
No, that's pretty ridiculous. Those aren't the kind of two-a-days that, you do in football. Two-a-days don't take place in motel rooms. So that ain't the way you offensive coordinate. And shout out to Adam there. That was a good pun, man. That's a good pun. Very offensive. Very offensive coordinator. Very offensive.
I always come through. And so sometimes
That was a poor choice of their words they're adding there since it's the topic we're talking about, but I'll let it slide.
No, you have the dirty mind, and you've poured onto it to our sinful viewers. So sinners,
You guys were church boys before you met me.
be sure to like and subscribe as always on all social media. So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you're calling it, TikTok, of course. And the most fun way to watch us is going to be on YouTube. Hit the notification bell because we come to you with new episodes every Monday and Thursday. So for Miles Behind Enemy Lines and a Mr. T.I., I am Adam Reno. We will see you next Thursday. Let's get to some sinning. Okay, all you sinners, follow Sports Idiot Nation on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, and remember, the most fun way to watch us is on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when new content drops. Remember, the podcast can also be found on the usual suspects of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Always remember, don't be an idiot.
Sinner.